Welcome to Zentangle Project Pack number 24, day 3. My name is Rick.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I am just appreciating all the tools and all of this time together. We have an 01, 05, and an 03 red, and I have an indigo blue chalk pencil, which is going to be fun to work with. I can't wait. And we're going to open our book to, not that one. Let's see.
Which is cool nonetheless.
Yeah. This one here, Molly asked me to do. And it's a series of crescent moons, back and forth, and kind of a fun shape. And again, working, if you look at it closely, it's moons within a moon.
And creating that beautiful Vesica Pisces shape.
So I decided, after analyzing the project here, that I was going to do everything but the moons. And so we're going to start working in these interstices, like Rick said before. And we're going to do the Tangle well, which is one of my favorites. But in all of these shapes, these Vesica Pisces, we're going to do the Tangle well differently in each one. So there's like 6 different ways, or 5 different ways, whatever it was.
So you'll see she's doing that technique of taking off from that circle. So it's slightly retracing the circle.
And then I'm creating like the number 9. So it goes around that circle and comes down like the number 9. And that's what we're going to work with mostly.
Right.
We're going to aura this, but this is called a tethered aura, meaning it auras the line but then meets together at the bottom. So we're going to fill this side, just sort of slowly appreciating this whole thing that we get. And now, at this point, you don't even have to make decisions. This first 2 strokes, that circle and that number 9, is telling you what to do. So you're going to go into autopilot mode here to a certain point.
Right. And it's all about the aura. And this is the first technique that we teach. And if you're new here, we call our aura example crescent moon. And that's why the whole moon reference here, that's thematic throughout this book and this project pack.
So we're going to turn the tile over, or the book over, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is the most simplest form of well that we're going to do here. And each time I'm going to change it just a little bit. And that's all it takes, is just a little bit. That's cool, right?
Well, I can't wait to see you shade it, because that's really neat. That really obvious over and under.
You can see I'm kind of accentuating those first 2 lines that we put down.
Nice. Maria has this lovely habit of retouching and adding love, just a little emphasis on different parts of the tangle.
So this one, we're doing off-center. Here's the number 9. We're going to see how different this looks just by moving that center orb. Well, it's not a center anymore. It's the first orb, right? That's not the first one. It's the only one. Again, we're going to do this aura-ing and tethered at the bottom, meaning that it meets up at the bottom.
And so you can see you can do it in either direction. But for the most part, you'll notice that we usually have the line or the shape that we're aura-ing opposite our drawing hand. So that way it's easier to see the shape that we're aura-ing because it's not under the pen. But the same technique from the first little shape that she filled.
Here we go with our number 9 again. And I'm using that reference to number 9 so that we're sort of working on the same page here with everybody. So when you're doing well,
on the same page.
Yeah. Once,
Lost the thought.
lost the thought. Yeah.
So this is cool with 2.
2 orbs, 2 number 9s. But wait, there's more. We're going to join these 2 orbs with a like a 2 shape or a reverse S.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we're doing our number 9s.
And you can see it creates such a nice rhythm. And also that resonance of the width between the auras.
So I'm going to go to about halfway, or whatever you deem to be halfway. I'm going to turn it around and do it the same on the other side. So let's see, 1, 2, maybe 6 auras or so. Then we're going to turn around and do the 9s on the other side. Isn't that fun?
Very clever. So I love how this is such a great example of, again, the same principle, same approach. But in all cases, you have aura, you have takeoff and land, and you're just working with the shape, almost like you set a little challenge for yourself, like, well, you did, like to do it differently in every one.
This is a great example of how a tangle can look totally different by just changing one little aspect.
In this case, a diamond instead of an orb.
Right. And it sort of comes off like a number 9, like a square number 9. See it? See the square number 9?
And then the tethered aura again.
I'm giving it a little help here with some added little curves.
But again, the same principle, the same resonance of auras. That's a nice one.
Isn't that pretty?
Yep.
Yeah, I
Go back and visit it again.
Visit it again.
And I think that's something that makes the strokes have like a personality of, because when you go over a stroke, it's never the same. It's never the same stroke.
Okay, here's our big orb in the middle. Number 9.
It's a bit of a trick working across the stitching there.
But you do your best, and then you can always go and touch up later.
Yeah.
Here's our number 9.
Taking off.
You can see I had to verticalize the pen.
To get it in there.
Yeah. Okay, so watch this now. Just for fun, we're going to have an escapee.
An escapee, yeah.
An escapee, which is like a garlic scape, right?
Right.
You know?
Oh, that fits, yeah. I wonder if that's related, because a garlic scape and escape.
Maybe. Let's say it does.
Right.
Okay, we'll go with that.
It does now.
Okay, so we have, I just have a hard time doing anything without having a muka in there. So it's sort of a muka coming out of there, but wait. We're going to work with that. So we're doing our number 9s, and we're going to turn our tile over, our book over, and we're going to do the 9s on this side, but going behind that scape.
Right.
That escaped.
To do something with the initials S, K, and P. Right? SKP, an escapee.
That's right.
And you can see how the strokes come together as they tether at the bottom.
So this version just gives you the fact that at any point in time when you have like a tangle that's really a texture tangle like this one, you can always just throw something in for fun, just to keep your attention.
So obviously things can sprout off of that. And here a bit of poke leaf.
Turning poke leaf.
So that little extra bit, that curve on the end of the leaf, it's like Maria's way of folding it over. Very nice. Ooh.
Who knew?
You learn something every day.
Reminds me of a Jack and the Beanstalk or something, right? With the things that he climbed on.
Right. Little footholds. And they don't look that sharp either, so it's
no,
it's
they
okay.
look like they could just, help out.
Right.
But wait, what's happening to this muka? The muka is transforming into
a sprinkle.
A sprinkle.
Right.
Right. Watch this. This is the guiding force here.
Wow, and it just changes,
it
right?
Just
like
changed
that.
The whole thing. Yeah. Isn't that funny?
And this is like a really great example of how there's not really a hard edge between tangle A and tangle B. And you can really, one of the fun parts is to morph one tangle into another.
So on these smaller ones, I'm switching to my 01 black pen because it's the smallest space to work in. And so don't be afraid to, that's a number 9. I should have turned my book there, but.
It's a sideways 9.
Sideways 9. So now it's going, instead of to the points, it's going to the sides. So that's the piece that makes this one different. And so it may keep in mind, it takes just one little instance at the beginning.
Right. And now you've established where the resonance is going to come off of.
So again, with the auras that are tethered on the end.
Right.
Pretty, huh? It's
Excellent.
like a croissant.
It does look like
I'm
a
hungry
croissant,
now.
Right?
Let's go.
That's funny.
Okay, so this one's a little bit different. We auraed it. Instead of a 9, it's almost like a question mark.
Exactly.
Right? Let's see where this takes us.
It's a question.
It's true.
And this is like just planting seeds of ideas of, as you're tangling or as you're approaching a situation, that just because it was always done that way, or it's done that way in the book, your contribution is like, okay, well, in this situation, follow your inspiration and take it and explore things that might not have been initially obvious as you go along.
So we have 7 kinds of ways to do well, and we haven't even begun to, add to the numbers of things that you could do.
It's a very deep well.
It's a deep well. I love that. I love that.
So Maria's just sort of dividing that shape.
Yeah. It's a simple stroke. Making these areas not look like what they looked like before.
And as she said, she's avoiding the crescent moon shapes.
So I'm going to do what we called
Bales.
Bales.
A version of bales.
A version of bales, but we're treating these lines like the Tangle bales, like when you do it in a grid.
Right. And then putting those little rice shapes on it.
Right. On either side of the lines. So there's that rice shape. You can see I'm stating those lines.
And so it gives this really nice sort of grid-like texture, three-dimensional texture.
Mm-hmm. Now, this was originally, I think it was called a napkin pattern or something from the Middle Ages. It was something on old manuscripts. So on these bigger sections, I'm aura-ing inside of those areas of bales.
Nice. So much of this whole approach on this spread is, well, and the whole book is all aura.
Hmm?
So those larger sections, Maria's
I'm separating them again,
dividing
right?
them again.
Dividing from point to center of that area. Point to center. Point to center. And we're creating smaller triangles.
I love the mix of the straight and curved lines in bales. It's a nice texture.
But once we put down those separating lines, it's on autopilot because we now know we need to put in these rice shapes all over the place.
And when she's, working with the boundaries lines, she only puts the rice shape on one side a lot of times.
Right. Well, because I'm leaving the moon shapes white.
So this is like coffering without connecting the corners.
Right. Oh, that looks pretty.
Nice. But wait. Again, revisiting the line.
So on the ends, I just treated it as one big triangle at the end there.
Beautiful.
So with my red 03 pen, I am using a technique called enthatching. enthatch. ing. And I'm starting where I want it to be the boldest. So in the crevice there, I'm starting there and just kind of flicking it out softly so that it almost disappears as the line goes out. It disappears or gets smaller.
So it's almost like shading with a pen.
Yep. And in my mind, I'm like letting the sunshine or the moonshine come behind the moons, like glowing behind the moons.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, like it would be really neat if the whole background was darker too.
Yeah. So I'm taking my beautiful blue pastel and adding shading on these beautiful number 9s, inside of the 9s. That's an easy way to find it, right? Inside the 9.
Well, and it's also really, it just wants to be shaded because it creates this lovely over and under phenomenon.
Right. But there, you go to a certain point and then you stop because you can't have shade without light. So always remember, always have at least the same amount of light.
Right, because if everything's shaded, nothing's shaded.
Right.
Or there's no difference.
Right.
You're managing that crevice really well there.
Yeah. It took some manipulation there.
But you get the idea, and I love how it changes the color with the tortillon. this book has been really fun. This whole project is so awesome because the whole idea is to get us back and remind us of those roots that we started with and the whole foundation. And so much of every tangle, not every tangle, but so many of the tangles we do incorporates aura.
Oh, look at the one with the diamond, how it's shaded. Right? Beautiful. Huh? A little sprinkle.
Mm-hmm. And you're just using that with what was on the tortillon, right?
Right. A little shade behind those turns, because the turn part will be the highlight.
And it really brings it out, too. And we look forward to seeing how you interpret this. And you may decide to put something in those triangular shapes different than we did. You may decide, oh, you did the same outside as I did. That's so cool. I like that. And it's really neat because you can blend the colors together, and it sort of creates a different color.
Oh, and we're having a surprise
guest
appeared just out of nowhere, right?
Well, I think maybe it was attracted by that escapee.
Who is this?
So we always mention that the crescent moon is like a ladybug shape. So it seems like appropriate that a ladybug find its way into this page. Very nice.
Well, it was fun to do, and I loved doing something different inside each one. Even though Zentangle is a repetitive art form, it still sort of repeated the same tangle, but
right.
with more character each time.
And then recently, Maria's been incorporating her chop as part of the composition. Yeah, I like that. Well, maybe that's why the ladybug came there, just sort of checking it out.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
I like that. Sweet. Beautiful, Maria.
Sounds great. Look at that.
That's
right? Pretty, huh? Oh, afterthoughts. I love that. I love afterthoughts. You know? I guess I must have thought I needed something coming out of the...
And that's one of those things of like, we encourage everybody to hold your work at arm's length, turn it this way and that, and then, oh, it speaks, oh, I want this, I want that. So you may finish multiple times.
That's true. Well, I think I'm done, though, because the credits are rolling.
Okay, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for playing with us and sharing your work with us and the Zentangle community. And we will see you very shortly.
See you later.
Bye now.
Bye.